And welcome back to the Surrey Hill Smokers. Just me on my own tonight, but that's not going to stop us bringing you a cook. Tonight I'm going to be doing a southern fried style chicken, shallow frying it on the TePro Grill using a new rub by the guys from Rub and Roll Spices. So grab a drink, sit down and enjoy the video. So what you're going to need is some chicken breasts or chicken breast fillets. I've just bought some from the supermarket. We're going to use the new WINGMAN rub from Rub and Roll Spices. Really smells much like one of our very famous fried chicken brands that we have in the UK and also in the US. I'm not going to mention any names for trademark reasons. It's not exactly the same, but it smells very much like it. So it's quite an easy process. I've just got myself a glass bowl. I've put all the chicken breast fillets in here, and we're just going to turn them over, make sure they're broken up. Now what we need to do, make sure you obviously have a tea towel to hand, and you are working with chicken, so do make sure you wash your hands in between of anything you're doing. So what we're going to do, we're going to give it a liberal sprinkling of the seasoning and just toss the chicken over in it, coat it all up, and we're going to leave it to sit for a couple of minutes. We just want to make sure all of that chicken's got some nice coating on it, and it's all separated as well, so if there's any of it stuck together, pull it apart and away you go. Get it all covered up with the seasoning, and then we'll let it sit for a couple of minutes. So we've let that sit for a couple of minutes and the spices to marinate. Then all we need is a little bit more vegetable oil here, and we're just going to give it a drizzle over the top, and then we're going to apply some more of the be quite liberal with it. We are going to fry this, so it doesn't really matter. It's going to get covered in oil. Just want to toss that over into the oil, into that, moisten up the chicken again with a nice oily coating, and then we're going to sprinkle some more seasoning on top. And all that's going to do is build up the layers of the rub that's actually on the chicken, and then we're going to get them into the fryer and give them some fry time. So there we go. I'm going to bring you in now for a close-up so you can see what this chicken looks. It smells amazing and it looks really good, and I can't wait to get it into the skillet and get these fried up. So now we've got this chicken ready, it's over to the fryer. This is where our trusty thermopen comes in. We need to get that oil up to around about 190 degrees centigrade or about 375 Fahrenheit, depending on where you are in the world. This is ideal because it means you don't have to risk burning yourself. It's very accurate and tells you very quickly what the temperature is. I now know that the oil's up to temperature, so let's bring you over and we'll get this chicken into the frying pan, and I'll bring you up close on the frying. Very important when you're frying that you don't overload the pan, because remember, every time you put some meat in, it's going to reduce the oil of that, the temperature of that oil. So we need to make sure we just put enough chicken in there that we can manage with the bowl. Doesn't matter if you have to do it in a couple of batches, just make sure you've got enough. Another useful thing to have is a tray that you're going to put it in. Line it with some kitchen roll. I've doubled it up here so it'll absorb any of that excess oil when we take those out of the frying pan. The smell coming off this is absolutely amazing, and it's starting to look amazing. It's getting brown and crispy and exactly as you'd expect fried chicken, coated fried chicken to be. So it's about time to get this first batch off. If you're not sure if it's cooked or not, this is where a little paring knife comes in. This is my flint and flame one. Really ideal. Just take it out, take a piece of chicken out, just cut it in half on the thickest part and make sure it's not raw or pink on the inside. If it's white and fluffy like you normally expect a piece of chicken breast to be, absolutely brilliant. Leave it in the pan and away you go. These look absolutely amazing. Let me get the second batch in and then I'll bring you in for a close-up. One thing to remember though, please do be careful when you're frying, especially over open fire. We all know that oil fires are really scary. Make sure you have a damp tea towel to hand in case you do get a flare up or something, because it doesn't take much. That temperature of the oil gets too high, suddenly flashes, you've got a big fire on your hands. Just be careful, be mindful. It's pretty safe, don't worry about it, but do be careful and be prepared if you have to maybe extinguish a little bit of a fire that might happen. We're all right today, we've got no problems because I'm keeping an eye on it, but do not leave this unattended because you will end up with a bit of a disaster on your hands. Right, second batch is done, let's get it into the pan. Got that tissue in there, the kitchen towel. It's really good, it absorbs. If any of you have ever fried in the house before, it's good, it just takes the excess oil off. Now, you don't have to worry about this getting cold immediately. It's really hot, and it will stay hot for a while. The coating sort of insulates a little bit, so you end up with a jacket around it, should we say, and it keeps it nice and warm. I wouldn't leave it for an hour or so, but it definitely will keep it warm for a while, so you don't need to rush to eat it, although it is pretty cool. And you need to still be very, very careful. As I say, it's very, very hot, and you need to let that oil drain off the outside and let it cool down a little bit. Another very, very important part here is also, remember, take that oil off the fire. I'm firing this up tonight with Big K's Marabou charcoal. It's really good. It's a hard wood. It's sticky. It's like a stick format, and it burns really hot, and it's very consistent. So for frying or longer, you know, frying pan cooks or shallow frying like this, it's ideal. But we must remember to take that pan off the heat, because it will continue to heat, and then you'll hit that flash point, and then you will could end up with a disaster if you're not careful. So make sure you take that off completely. So here we go, our southern style fried chicken using that new rub from the guys at Rub and Roll. The smell of the oil on its own now, where it's got a little bit of the seasoning in it, smells amazing, and I'll probably recycle that oil, because waste not, want not. And we all know that oil tastes better once it's been used a couple of times. I just use standard supermarket vegetable oil here, give it that really dirty fried taste. The smell coming off this is phenomenal. Let's crack open a piece and see what it looks like. Oh, it's perfection. Cooked, moist. Oh, the flavour. It's not that famous brand, but it's pretty close. Fantastic. If you want to give this a try though, make sure you head over to the guys at Rub and Roll and pick up a tub of it. It's phenomenal. It's called Rub and Roll, and it's called Wingman is the type. Really, really good. Oh man. And you've all been requesting that we eat on video, so excuse me for talking with my mouth full. So thanks for watching, guys. If you've liked this video, please make sure you give us a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and hit the bell notification so you know when we do more content. Hopefully next time Gavin will be back here. He's really missing out with this. I tell you what, this is phenomenal. It's going to make a good dinner tonight. Anyway, take care and see you again soon.